Good evening. Welcome to 2022 and your first ever weekly rundown. Here at Straight Air News, we want to give you updates on all the content our team is working on in the background. Heading over to our website, we just spoke with our medical expert, Dr. Coley. She'll give you the latest on where this pandemic is heading with the new Omicron variant. Simone in New York has the latest on AT&T and Verizon's new 5G service and why the airline industry is seeking to block it near some airports. And I just put out a piece about a 555-carat black diamond that's going up for auction. It's the largest cut diamond in the world. Now that you're up to date, let's do a newsroom check-in.
So I am working on a story that I've been interested in for years. It's about de-radicalization programs for terrorists. So I first was kind of clued into these programs when I was living in the UK. The UK government has been criticized because some of the programs haven't worked. And the big question is always, how do you gauge if they're working or not, if a perceived terrorist has been de-radicalized? But it turns out that the US and Canada also have these sorts of de-radicalization programs. So I'm going to speak to some experts about the programs here in the US to find out if they work, where they're at, and kind of what that process is for de-radicalizing someone.
It's no surprise we've got a lot going on here in Washington, D.C. We've got President Biden's anniversary, the filibuster, voting rights legislation, and Build Back Better, just to name a few. There's one thing I'm looking at for down the pipeline. It's actually something I've been working on for quite a while, but it's going to become relevant probably in another 30 or so days when the government has to readdress funding. And that's calls to defund the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. This is something that happens every single time government funding comes up. So I'll be looking at, one, why do these calls keep happening? And two, how much does it cost taxpayers to keep the Corporation for Public Broadcasting?
Just finishing up an edit on Joe Biden and his low polling numbers as we got to the 1-year anniversary of his inauguration today. It's called Slidin' Biden, so you can see that very soon on our site. And after that, we'll move on to an interview piece with Dr. Payal Kohli, cardiologist. She's going to talk to you about COVID.
Thanks for the updates, team. If you want to continue receiving our latest updates around the clock, head on over to straightarrownews.com. You can write our stories on our bias meter and check out some of our explainer content. That's your weekly rundown. We'll see you in the next one.